Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll get a look at Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers as they match up with the longtime Raven Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. With you from the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. CDR matchup here. A couple of teams last year that were really pretty similar. Both under 500, both missed the playoffs, and they both think that they can turn things around in 2019.
Yeah, how about 2018, though? A case of the haves and the have-nots. In 16-game seasons in the NFL, for the first time last year, no one finished 8-8. Now, you know that in baseball, basketball, other sports, turnarounds can take 3, 4, 5 years. In football, could just be a few months.
The Broncos will kick. Here's Brandon McManus to start us, and we are off from Denver. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And Salek here, left side. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
Here we go.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. 16 yards, a first down.
Here we go.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Well, let's showcase cornerback Kareem Jackson has brought his talents from Houston to Denver, and the Broncos are really excited about using him all over their secondary. Primarily a corner for most of his career, the last couple of seasons, he swung back to safety as well, and has done a nice job in both spots.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41. On play action, now Garoppolo. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now Garoppolo. That's going to be caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go.
And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Here we go.
They'll try and run with Wilson. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
21. Here we go.
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Wait. Ready?
That's what I do.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. He finds Riddick complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Second-year punter Colby Wadman out there now for the Broncos. Back deep, Trent Taylor. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Going for Hurd on the deep ball. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves you out that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now Flacco. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They went 3-and-out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Let's go, D.
A red zone first down for Flacco. That is caught inside the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more...
And Freeman finding his way in for a Bronco touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the final act came from Royce Freeman on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver? Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. That's returnable for Craycraft. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Denver getting set to take the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Flacco right back to work after the pick six. Completes it to Fant on the right side. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Third down, Flacco from the gun. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And it's a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
That's it, baby. We gonna run.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
Here we go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. From the 24, Garoppolo. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play, Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Here we go.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's go.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man.
All day, every day. Anytime.
1st and 10 here for Flacco. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Flacco from the gun. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Flacco. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman.
You see it all day. Pick.
That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play caller, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse convert.
Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Now it's Lindsey. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Well, another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 23 yards the pickup there.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 24 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, it's Coleman. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, maybe said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Gold is able to put it through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll start on the grab with Lindsey. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Flacco. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Bootleg, Flacco. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly.
And Freeman finding his way in. Touchdown, Broncos. Royce Freeman, his second touchdown of the night. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the second time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
This is Coleman. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
On 2nd and 10, Garoppolo on the screen. This is Coleman. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That second down play nets a -4.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So the Broncos coming out now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
I'll start offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Here we go. 180.
Mike 47. Watch the screen. Guys.
Stay hot. Stay hot.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot or running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now it's Flacco. He'll find Lindsey here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Here's Flacco. And he's got Hireman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Flacco. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Flacco, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
One universal in football, when it's a kicking situation, or you're kicking a field goal, an extra point, you're punting, you never want to hear a second thud. That means the block has occurred. Imagine being the guys on the bench right now, the defensive unit. They thought they were going to get a cushion when they went back out on the field. That's no longer there.
And a chance to take a second-half lead, but the special teams unit, they said, not on our watch. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Garoppolo looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. On 1st down, it's Coleman. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Coleman now. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Denver, good night, everybody.